Okay. Hey, it's John and Mike from brew-dudes.com, and tonight we are drinking an experimental American wheat beer that I brewed, and there were two things I was going after with this beer. Number one, I wanted to try out the Sorachi Ace hop variety, and I used that particular hop in all stages of the boil, and I dry hopped with it. So, I don't know, something about American wheats and a lemon flavor, and knowing that Sorachi Ace has that lemon taste, oops, I thought that that would turn out pretty well. So I'll have Mike drink that and let us know what he thinks. The other side is there's also a yeast experiment going on here too. I took two yeast strains. One was the California Ale yeast strain from White Labs, WLP001, and their Kolsch yeast strain, so WLP029, just to see what that would do, knowing that the cleanness from the California Ale would, probably go really well with a wheat beer, but also trying to get that softness, the crispness from the Kolsch yeast strain. So I'm going to ask Mike first what he thinks of the lemony flavor from the hops that I think we got out of the Sorachi Ace hop variety.
I think that one of the amazing things with like Sorachi Ace and a lot of these newer hop varieties that are out too, I mean, Sorachi Ace has been talked about for a few years, but it really does deliver. It delivers on that lemon thing. I mean, it's really right there. I mean, very fresh lemon. Almost a little bit sweet. Actually, I mean, you had mentioned like a lemon cream type of thing coming with in the description sometimes, but I really almost get like a in a pleasant way, a juicy fruit gum lemon driven thing, and it works well in the wheat beer. Yeah. I think it works really well in the wheat beer.
Yeah, I think that the lemon cream, I had Brooklyn's Saison that they brew with Sorachi, and that had a really lemon cream taste to it, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I tasted it before I brewed this, and just doing some research, I guess. I didn't know if I would like that in a wheat beer, but I think maybe the yeast strain, really came out with a clean tasting hop, not only flavor, but the aroma is pretty lemony clean too. So
I think the bitterness is fairly soft too. Like the bitterness isn't aggressive. Now you used the Sorachi Ace through the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I had an ounce, and so I spread it out evenly across. Right at the beginning of the boil, it was only a quarter of an ounce, and then at 15 minutes to go, and probably right at flame out, and then the last quarter of the ounce I put in the secondary.
There's only 1 ounce in this whole beer.
Whole ounce, yep, that's it.
Sorachi Ace delivers.
Yes. Well,
oh my, wow.
It has high alpha acids, and I didn't, the American wheat style doesn't call, it's not really going to be a hop bomb, but
yeah,
I thought that if I, don't power it up at the beginning of the boil, it won't be that bitter, but there'll be like a lot of nice flavors throughout, as I do it later on, and also dry hop with it too.
Well, I wouldn't have thought to just divide out 1 ounce the whole way through it, but this beer is so well balanced. Plenty of Sorachi character, Sorachi flavor, Sorachi aroma, and just enough bitterness for a wheat beer, but man, well done. That's really good. I'm blown away by 1 ounce.
I didn't know. I thought you might have seen that. But no, yeah.
I don't pay attention to your recipe posts.
You don't read my posts? Yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, so let's talk about the yeast strain, the experiment. So there's 2 different yeast strains in this. What's your thoughts on that? I don't know if I'm getting what I thought was going to come out of it, but what do you think?
Well, to me, I can definitely sense a cleanness of that's characteristic of 001. Yeah. Right. Now, Kolsch yeast is pretty clean too, but to me, Kolsch yeast has always come with a nice softness to it. We can debate crispness, softness, but I think one thing that I'm really surprised that the Kolsch yeast does here is it really elevates the wheat character and really softens the wheat, gives it a very light bread-like character. I find the combination here to be extremely nice.
Yep. So just a few other notes on that. The optimum range for both yeast strains fairly similar. I think that the California one has a wider range, but I really kept it around that. I was trying to the mid-60s Fahrenheit. I did have a little bit of a yeast explosion. It blew the stopper right off the top of the carboy, so that was pleasant to wake up to. And then I saw the temp went over to like the low 70s, so I had to move it to a cooler room just to bring it back down. But other than that, I think that it did what it needed to do. The attenuation, you know, I thought that was going to be, it was probably like a point lower than what I anticipated. So I don't know if it really dried it out all that much. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that, oh yeah, I can totally tell that a Kolsch yeast was used here, but the resulting final beer is good.
I've brewed a few wheat beers with 001, and I think that using the Kolsch yeast in here really helps put some life into the wheat, where 001 alone in wheat doesn't, to me, it has never really elevated the wheatiness of a beer. I think it really works here. You know, something else, going back to the hops, is that the reason why people use 001 in like their American Pale Ales and IPAs is because it really gets out of the way of hop character, and it really helps hop character come out.
Yeah.
So with that, so it's really helping the Sorachi Ace jump right out of this beer. Is what I'm saying. You know, so interesting experiment blending the two yeasts. I think there's a couple different characters that are coming through there on the yeast side of it, and it's certainly getting out of the way of that Sorachi Ace, and the Sorachi Ace is just coming through beautifully here.
Cool. Well, that's just talking, you know, more about, you know, the process, since we've discussed that. Since you aren't, you know, tasting it with us, you pretty much don't really care, but maybe, you know, learning from what we did to make this beer and you know, getting his opinion on it, you know, maybe gives you thoughts for your own brew making. So, from, you know, here at brew-foods.com, he's Mike, I'm John. Brew on, as they say.
Cheers.